Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I like to do is create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out treasure hunting. Today what we're going to do is open up this online auction package. Now, this one looked really good, but the pictures were terrible and confusing. Like, it was a few different piles of things all mashed together, and I'm not entirely certain what we're gonna find in here. This was one that I bought just because it was 20 bucks and I thought it would be fun. So we're gonna probably employ our loop at some point, definitely our magnet, and we will see what we got in our package. Typical eBay, been opened up once and reused kind of packaging. Just sort of loose stuff in there. Lots of it though, so this one should be interesting. Actually, there's more than I thought. This might end up being a couple videos. Let's just get it all out. Looks like things were sorted somewhat by somebody. Ooh, Churchill. Okay, let's have ourselves a look-see at what we got. I don't want to get rid of that. All right, so generally speaking, if you're new to my channel, when I go through and sort this kind of thing, I'll use the magnet. The magnet can tell you real quick if something is maybe it's good, but it's not necessarily going to be like solid silver or solid gold. Now, yeah, like for example, here we just have a basic pin. So let's go ahead and we're going to sort out the stuff that's just sort of like basic, get that out of our way, and we'll look at some other good stuff. What is in here? Just like, ooh, Marshall. Oh, is that from the Marshall Islands? Is that what's going on there? I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know that I recognize that shape. Anyways, it's just a basic new like enamel pin. Nothing we're gonna be too interested in for this video because we clearly have a lot of stuff to get through. If I can't do this all in a half hour, we'll definitely cut it into two videos. What do we got? G'day from Australia. Okay. So you can pull out stuff, see like this. And I'll talk about it here real quick. Do you see how this looks? It's shiny, but it also kind of has like sort of a rough look to it. And generally what that indicates, when you're looking at it, there's sort of this like roughness that's a little filled in, and that's very typical of gold plate. Hey buddy, what you up to?
But I don't know when we tell you it's done. When we tell you it's done.
Well, you got some Nerf ones out there, don't you?
Yeah, but what? You know the new ones out. I can't find them.
You're gonna have to go look for them. All right.
But I can't find. I can't find them outside.
You can't find them outside.
Yeah.
Well, after I finish this up, I can maybe help you look. So here's an example of something that's magnetic. So you can tell real quick, if it's magnetic, it's not going to be solid gold. Now, sometimes things can be weakly magnetic and be silver. I'll try to put a little pip right there that talks about that. When you're looking at silver chains, you'll see that sometimes. But here we have a situation where we have two of the same thing, so we can just put them aside in our pile, because we are kind of after gold here. Really? I mean, if we're being honest. Ooh, Boy Scouts. That's a nice little Boy Scout pin. Looks a little higher quality than usual, but I think it is still probably brass with some gold plating on it. But we'll set that in our nicer pile, which is where we'll put these nice military brass buttons, I think. That'll go into our nice stuff pile. Oh, what's this? Oh, so that'll tell you right there that is not, in fact, a gold ring, which is sad. Be nice if that was a gold ring. That just looks like brass. Yep. probably plate. It's a button. Go ahead and put that in our nicer things pile. More Boy Scouts. Now this is interesting. So this is for keeping your tie in place. Doesn't look... See, it looks like it's got some gold plate worn off, probably. It doesn't look quite right. Let's see if there's any markings on it. Anson. So Anson's a quality maker. It'll tell you if it's gold fill, if Anson made it, or if it's sterling. In this case, I don't see any markings to indicate gold fill or sterling. So I think that this is just going to be plate. Now, down here, keep in mind that when these were made, you can put kind of anything you want off a chain. So you might have something that's gold plate up here, but this could actually end up being gold. Now in this case, I don't know, it doesn't react to the magnet. Let's see if there's any markings on it. I would be very surprised if this were gold. And the reason is, it seems like this is just glass that's glued in. Generally, if you're going to make something like this out of gold, you're going to, you know, have a gemstone or something. And then also, if we look in here, it looks like you can see some of the base layers, and also looks like it's maybe worn down. You know, I'll set that one aside, and I'll look for comments. If you want me to test that one in a future video, I'll test that. I think, though, it's probably just like brass that's plated. And in particular, when you look down inside where that hole was drilled, you can see some verdigris and some tarnish. Additionally, it generally, when you have an object like this that's made out of gold, like these holes aren't. You can see how that lip kind of came up, and when they drilled them, they didn't do like a good job on it. And if you're working with gold, typically speaking, you're going to pay special attention to it. But if I'm wrong, it will be over in a special pile. Leave a comment, tell me I'm wrong, and we'll go ahead and get that one tested up. So here we have, what do we have? Any markings? I don't see any markings. Looks like it's plate. Let's hit it with the magnet. Now the magnet will also pick up on anything like so there'll be steel inside of these things, because there could be like a spring that's steel. So even if it hits, like if a magnet hits in some spot, you think there's a spring inside, that doesn't mean it's not gold. This one though, this chain is definitely not, and I don't see any markings on it. So I'm going to say that that one is just a gold plate. Man, we got a lot of stuff in here, don't we? Okay, that's just a backer. Just a backer right here. Looks like we got another piece of Boy Scout. I'm just gonna start making a Boy Scout pile up here, I think. Shall we? Okay. Swank. Now, Swank is another quality maker. If this were sterling, it would say sterling, where it says Swank, and it does not. So you know that's not precious metals. Now, this could still be, look at all the plates just straight up worn off. Again, Swank. So that's just gold plate. All right, what do we got here? Ooh. So the first hint that this isn't solid gold is that the pearls are glued in. The second hint is that the gold plate's wearing off. So that's just a gold-plated pin. I'm not sure what it says there. Maybe we can see. I'm thinking it's the maker. Oh, patent. So it's got a patent on it. Yeah, so that's an old pin, certainly, with the, I believe they call this a C-clasp, which generally dates these things to, like, well, either newer but very, very cheap, which this one could be, or like 1800s. But yeah, always leave comments if you can fill me in on something like that. We're gonna put that into maybe our nicer pile, even though it is just plated. What we got here? Let's short circuit by hitting it with a magnet. No, magnet doesn't do anything. Kind of a nice little chain on there. Not seeing obvious signs of gold plate wearing off. What is our text? Swank. So I think this is probably a good case of a swank tie clip that is just in very nice shape. So it's old, but it's just in very nice shape. All right, what else we got out and loose here? Military, I'm guessing? Oh, what does it say? It says something BBB. Oh, BBBC. Is that Brooks, Britt, Biddle, and Bailey? Something like that? Philadelphia? I don't know. Our military collectors will probably be able to say something about that. All right, what do we got here? That doesn't hit. Looks like a piece of glass. A little bit of leather. And man alive, does that look like a silver chain. What do we think? Is it broken? I'm guessing that's broken. Probably supposed to be something there to... And you know, that something there that this latched onto might have said that it was silver. So we'll put that one aside for testing. And we'll see what we have. Okay, what else we got? Big bag of stuff. Bag of stuff. Ooh, look at that. I'm guessing that's a little dyed slab of agate. It's definitely seen better days. We'll set that, I don't know, put that over here. Okay, let's start with a smaller one. What do we got here? It was in a baggie, and it looks kind of tarnishy. Ooh, that looks good. Look at that. Well, interesting. Very interesting. This looks like very good silver tarnish right here. Got any text on the inside of it? Huh. All right, so this could be gold right here. I don't see anything that would indicate that it's not. And this might be silver. So I think what we'll do is we'll put that into our test pile. And at the end of this video, we'll break out the test acid. All right. This kind of looks like a goodie bag to me. What do we think? What's this one? 50 years membership to the RNA. Not sure what the RNA is. But I do like 10 karat gold. Can't complain about that one. Nice, probably. Oh, you know what? I don't have to speculate. I'm not going to speculate. I'm just going to grab this. How much gold we got here? Now, mind you, the pin is probably not gold, but that's 2.3, 2 grams of gold, 10 karat. We're off to a rip-roaring start there. All right, and we'll verify this. We'll put that into our test pile and we'll verify that. The rest of this thing gold? Oh man, that'd be cool. Oh, look at that. That's Bell, or General Systems. Come on, gold. Oh, what do you know right there? What do we got right there? 10 karat emblem. Oh, well, that is interesting. So that's telling us something that's very specific. So that's telling us that this is probably gold fill or just, yeah, I'm guessing it's gold fill or gold top. But the emblem itself, the little phone, is 10 karat. Well, that is interesting. I wonder what the piece that's attached to test says, because it actually looks pretty good for gold too. We'll put that in our test pile. That is cool. I've never seen a 10 karat emblem. All right, so this is proving to be quite the goodie bag. VJ, so this is high school pins. The high school pins are much less likely to be gold in my experience. The higher up in education you get, the more likely you are to be finding gold. And this one is gold fill or gold face. I think it's more like gold face. And the reason I say that is, do you see how there's a distinct line right there? All the way around? Yeah, you can see it perfectly here. You see where you have like one layer and then another layer? So I think what this GF is not gold fill, but it means something like gold face or gold faced. And that it's a brass backer, and then the face of it is karat gold, probably like 10 karat gold. And we could test it and we can see what this face is. And these are interesting because while the whole weight of it isn't going to be 10 karat gold, I mean, geez Louise, half of that weight, maybe at least a third of that weight is 10 karat gold. So that's kind of a neat thing, in my opinion. And one thing I always thought that gold fill or GF meant gold fill, but in these cases I'm finding when it isn't actually accompanied with like a 110, 10 karat or something like that, that when I look closely, it turns out that actually the whole top of it. And you see this too, I think a lot of times they're called like, they'll say like 10 karat gold top too. And I think that's effectively what this is. So that's cool. But we'll test it and we'll see what the face is as far as a carat goes. Oh man, we are batting 1,000 here, aren't we? I don't know what that means. I'm not a baseball person. See, this one looks a little less likely to be gold to me. Just maybe it's just dirty. I don't know. That eagle looks pretty good. We'll test that at least. Let's see this one. What's it say? Oh yeah, so this is a more typical gold fill in that it actually says, let me see if I can get this open so you can see. All right, pin off, there we are. So you see where it says 110 10K? So that definitely means gold fill, and that this whole piece is 1/10 of the content is 10 karat. Now, oftentimes with these pieces, though, like that little C bit may be gold fill or it may be karat gold. Hard to tell. I think when these things get refined, that's really the only way to know how much gold was actually in it. But you know what? We'll also test this little 71 eagle and see what that comes out at. Because the guard pins, this is a pin that you pin on in addition to your pin so that if this one falls off, you're good. Or if this one falls off, you're still good. A little bit of a backup, a little bit of a guard. The guard pins are often so small that they end up being karat gold. All right, and our last goodie. Oh, okay, so this is a Shriner. I don't think this one's going to be a precious metal necessarily. And, well, there you go. That is not. But the reasons I didn't think it would be a precious metal, even though it is you've got stones in there. But when they make these out of like platinum, I've got some platinum ones around here and some gold ones around here. There will be, it'll be clear through, so light can get through to the stone in the front. When the stones are just glued in, you know you're just looking at a bit of costume jewelry. All right, well, we may be able to get through all of this in one go. Let's see what's in bag number 3, because there is a bunch of stuff in this thing. Okay. All right, what do we got here? Oh, that's interesting. 1965 Churchill. Well, we'll have to look that one up. That's cool. So is that a metal? It doesn't look like it's money. And 65, I'm guessing there's no silver content in it. But yeah, if anyone can tell me what this is, I'm thinking this is probably a metal. I don't know what aside from Churchill, what it's commemorating, and what it's made out of. But it doesn't. Maybe it's silver? It doesn't seem silver though. Well, you know what? We'll look that one up. Okay. Ooh, look at that. These are often, oh, and it's attached to a chain. Looky there. So this is a watch fob. It does not look at a glance to be gold. I'm guessing, yeah. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Oftentimes there's a steel in there, so that's going to do that. We expect that to do that. But let's just look close. I'm thinking this is probably gold fill at a glance. And what we'll do is we'll look close. So this color is not right for gold. In fact, you know what? I have a 9-carat one handy. Let me just reach behind me here and I'll pull it out. Okay, yep, I got it. All right. So here's a 9-carat watch chain. And you see how brassy this looks compared to that? Maybe you can't see so much in this light. I need different light. But yeah, this has a much more gold color. Even though it's only 9-carat, it's not a high carat gold. It looks a lot better than this. And we'll zoom in on this and we'll show you sort of what I'm looking at. So when you're looking to see if one of these old watch chains is gold fill, they'll sometimes be marked. But usually what you want to look for is you want to look for places where it's going to have worn. I don't like you being caught there. So wherever you might have some wear, like between the links, and what you want to look for is you want to see where the gold on the surface has come up. But boy, I don't know on this one. Like, you see this little spot right there? That looks like maybe gold fill.
Daddy.
Yeah, bud.
When you're done with your video, we can watch a show.
Well, when I'm done with the video, I think we gotta go to the grocery store.
But I don't want to go to the grocery store.
Well, but we need to eat, right?
Yeah, I want to eat.
Yeah, so if we don't go buy groceries, we don't eat. Yeah, see, this is brass. And you can actually see around here where it's all wearing off. Now, this may be, that looks like it's probably fill, but it could just be tarnished. Sometimes these are made out of like 9-carat gold or 8-carat gold, and then they tarnish up. You can definitely see where the construction of these is multiple layers. So it's like things folded around other things. Oh yeah, look right there. See that? You see that like real dark spot? That is the brass coming through. Now, if this were solid gold, the emblems would definitely not be gold fill. Like, the bulk of the gold in this is actually in the slab. So I think what we're looking at is we're looking at gold fill here, which is typical. Most of the time when you find these, you end up finding them as gold fill. And that's what I'm confident in saying this one is, because there is just enough wear that you can see where some of the brass is coming through. Still a nice one. And these things polish up like nobody's business, which is why if you're buying one online, they can be very difficult to spot. Like if I grabbed my In fact, I might be able to do it on camera here to show you. Is this a, I think I've got a silver polishing cloth right here. So I got a silver polishing cloth. What I'm gonna do, I'll zoom out so it's not so, and I'm just gonna hit it with this a little bit. I'm gonna show you how quick a piece like this starts looking really, really dang good. Even the chain. And when you polish brass, I mean, there's a reason that people mistake brass for gold, and that's because it really, when you polish it a bit, it takes a beautiful polish and it looks better and better. Now, if you're looking at something like this on an online auction and somebody just went through and did what I'm doing here, yeah, see all this? This is, watch this. We're getting a bunch of tarnish. Look, all that tarnish that just came off. If this were gold, that wouldn't be happening. We wouldn't have tarnish coming off on this. But yeah, this is a great example of showing you how, see how quickly this starts to shine up? How quickly it starts to look really, really dang nice. So if you're looking at an online auction and somebody has actually polished up some brass, or some gold fill, so that the brass that was coming through on the gold fill is now, because remember we had a little bit of brass right here coming through that we saw a second ago, and just a little bit of an old, and this is an old one too, one of these silver polishing cloths. Boom. Looks like gold. Now there is gold involved in this. Don't make any mistake, but it's over the top of brass. Let's grab, let me polish that real quick. We'll polish just one side. So yeah, when you're, I've had I had a request the other day about like doing a video about buying online auctions. And it's so hard for me to give any kind of online auction advice because it's always a gamble. And you just don't know, like here, you just don't know if somebody polished it up so it looks like gold, because boy, does that look like gold. Then look over there. You can see that it's brass. So this is polished brass and lightly polished. You saw me just do it right here. And that's brass that's been sitting for a while. So if something's old and dirty and it still looks like this, then we're more likely to be looking at gold. But if it's old and dirty and it looks like this, you know, you've got brass. Now, if it's new and shiny and clean and it looks like this, could be brass. So, cool. This has actually been a great lot for teaching some things. We are hitting up against the half-hour mark, and my kids are wanting some lunch. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to call it here. And in part 2 of the video, we'll do our testing and we'll finish off this little pile of stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, and in part 2, I'll also make sure I can tell you what this is. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope, most importantly, that you can use this information to go out and find yourself some treasure.
Like this, I've been Thomas.